gentlemen, one reason the globalists are so hard to beat is they are so over the top. Saudi Arabia was clearly involved in 9/11. We attack Iraq. Syria is fighting al-Qaeda, trying to make deals with Israel for a decade, trying to join the West. They get attacked by al-Qaeda, and now our government's saying attack the Syrian government to stop al-Qaeda. That is so criminal and so over the top. But it's our military last year and earlier this year that said no to the open Syrian intervention to overthrow Assad, who's been democratizing, and his secular military. What did our government try to do? They backed overthrowing our ally, the secular government, Hosni Mubarak, 33 years in control of Egypt. Now Israel is running around with Netanyahu saying, you know, ISIS might be a good thing to destabilize the Middle East. That's immoral. That loses the moral high ground. That's because the West has decided to join with Saudi Arabia and al-Qaeda and to let them take over the whole Middle East. There's another triple cross where they claim they're doubling back with Iran and actually attacking ISIS forces in a deal with Iran. Yes, if ISIS gets out of the area they've been given. Because again, they don't fully control ISIS, they're just funding them, protecting them, and turning them loose. Look at this headline right here. Former Homeland Security advisor, and we have the clip coming up, very, very true, ISIS may have crossed the border.
What do you make of these reports of ISIS collaborating with Mexican drug cartels to exploit our southern border?
Yeah, I think that Governor Perry's words are unfortunately very, very true. We have seen this administration and the lack of security, a lack of policy along the U.S. border. But I think more importantly, they have really shown, this administration has really shown a lack of understanding. They've absolutely underestimated the threat from ISIS. And
that's Joshua Katz, former senior policy advisor to the Senators Intelligence Committee.
From ISIS. So this is something that the that has been known to all of us for.
All right, that's
a while.
good. That's from Fox News. So they're all playing dumb now. Oh, Obama didn't know. Oh, the attack's coming. They're going to blow up a big city. They are allowing al-Qaeda to come into the country. They are crawling all over us. They are having demonstrations in every U.S. city, along with other Muslims that are legitimately concerned about problems in Palestine and other issues. But in amongst them are the ISIS flags. In amongst them are the Wahhabist jihadis that are funded by Saudi Arabia and NATO. And they have turned loose an army. How many times have I said, how many hundreds of times, that al-Qaeda is the secret army of the New World Order, the destabilizing force worldwide? And now you're seeing it. Our borders are down. They're telling us, brace for al-Qaeda ISIS attack. Our government turned them loose, protected them, set them up when al-Qaeda had been decimated and reduced. And now they're back. They're in Ferguson saying ISIS is here. And I see all these trendy liberals online cheering on the jihad and cheering on the Arab Spring that was funded by Google and the Ford Foundation and George Soros's Open Society group publicly. It's part of the global destabilization. If you are a veteran and fought against al-Qaeda in Iraq, if you lost a leg or lost a buddy or got shot, I know my cousin has lost so many friends to al-Qaeda and the Haqqani network and the rest of them. That's why he continues to go back into combat. Been in the Army 31 years. 31 years. More than 20 tours. It's like 50-something years old. They got old guys, folks, where they even understand our government's funding them at a certain level. They don't care. They want to go fight these guys because they've killed their buddies. This is so sick how they manipulate our own tribalism. I want to hear from active duty, but also people that have been victims of al-Qaeda. Is it not clear what's happening, how we're being set up? Al-Qaeda is being led into attack as the political diversion so martial law can come into place. They're saying a whole city could be blown up. That means a nuke. And you've got Obama saying, my main fear is a nuke going off in New York. Let's get that clip if we can. And then you've got missing nukes from Dyess Air Force Base that weren't even supposed to be there. We had this from high-level witnesses that saw it, high level, that's all I'm going to say, who physically went out and stopped the trucks coming off saying, you got to have paperwork. And the base commander came out and said, here's the paperwork. It's ordered by the president. Now get out of the way. There was a confrontation. This happened. And then within 24 hours, Senator Lindsey Graham was running around on the Intelligence Committee on CBS News saying, brace for nuclear bombs to go off in the Carolinas and in New York City if we don't take down Assad. Al-Qaeda will hit us. Assad's fighting Al-Qaeda. So you can see him putting the narrative out. That makes no sense. Why would we be nuked by Al-Qaeda if we didn't take out Assad? Or was there a deal? Is it going to be criminal elements, the Democratic Party, that shut off a nuke? Is it going to be a foreign power? Is it going to be ISIS themselves? I don't know. But I can see the total setup for plausible deniability going on right now. And notice, we were saying this before there was any evidence of it. Because I could see the programming in the media, the preparations, the digging in. And so we get hit. A major city goes up in flames. There's only one thing that can take out a whole city. One thing man-made that'll take out a whole city, and that's an atomic or hydrogen bomb. Remember Obama? About a month after I said there was missing nukes? And we had missing nukes from Minot, North Dakota in 2007 that showed up at the Air Force Base in Louisiana. And I remember that was in the Liberty-based media days before it broke. It was a, quote, conspiracy theory. And then they killed a bunch of people at the base that had witnessed what went on. They were trying to disappear and ship cruise missiles to the Middle East loaded with high-tech hydrogen bombs, hydrogen warheads. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on, folks. And everybody better have their eyes open. Toll-free number to join us for police, military, you name it. You guys let me know when you have that Obama clip. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. Is there any other way to see what's happening here? How do you take down America if you're globalist criminals? You fund radical terrorists to attack the country. You use that terror attack as the pretext to bring in martial law, while the true training of the NATO and Northcom military, this is Forbes magazine, Associated Press, Reuters, Washington Post, is to have a war with the patriots who follow the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and are Americans. There is no way to debate what's happening. 800-259-9231. Let's go to Garrett in Texas, a former Marine. What is this like for you to see this unfolding? And do you disagree with anything I've said, or do you want to add something?
Yes, I agree. Yes, I'd like to add, this is the twilight zone. When I joined the Marine Corps and the training we went through, I was in security forces at a nuclear arms base up in Seattle, Washington. It's almost like I had this feeling the whole time that they're building up for something, and what is it? And it's not what they're telling us. But that's a whole other issue. I'd really like to get onto the point of immigration and then all the false flags that they're setting, and basically them getting ready for what appears to be civil war.
Yes.
I'm sure you're aware of what happens in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, the way that they ship in basically their immigration force from the surrounding countries, and they basically enslave them by these contracts, and they have them living on compounds, and they're building their new empire over there. They're doing the same exact thing, I personally believe, with the poor immigrants that are coming from...
I totally agree. They are setting up work compounds and will exploit them, but it's not just about exploiting them. It's about exploiting everyone else, using them to drive down the wages. You import the third world slave population to do that.
It's a three-pronged spear. It's a trident, and they're killing 10,000 birds with one stone. And now, once we start to pay attention to that, here comes the distraction. They were planning on just paying attention to the news, waiting for a new story to come up. They've obviously been trying to get this race war going. That's going to be the tip of the spear, and then from that, it's going to be patriots versus. It's kind of like the chaos of the protests that are going on now and the chaos of the 99% movement, how it all gets infiltrated, it becomes chaos. And just
then Al-Qaeda hits, and they say, while Homeland Security was busy dealing with riots, the nuke went off in Chicago, or the nuke went off in Manhattan. And they will do it and totally take over. And you can. That's why they don't care if you know they stole the pension funds. It's why they don't care if you know they're devaluing the dollar. It's why they don't care and go on the news and say your kids